Teshuva. That's not a real. Like,
Right.
It's not like he's religious now. Yeah, you have to be conscious for sure. But you see, but like there's people like this that would say, "Oh, I did Teshuva. I know I'm doing Shabbat. I'm doing this." But did you regret any of what you did? You don't regret anything. Then exactly.
Right. So just to review very quickly what we just said in the first halakha of the Rambam, we said that a person cannot think that he has that his life is being controlled, that it's Hashem decreed on him what to do good or to do bad, and therefore since he can choose to do good or to do bad, when a punishment will come, then the punishment will come because of what he did, and therefore because he knew what he was doing and he did it willfully, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send him the punishment according to what he did. Then we also said that a person can be punished with his body, with his money, or by his young children. And why did we say the young children? Because until they become adults, then they cannot be. Then they're not considered like full-fledged, like another entity than their parents, and therefore, according to the sins of the father, the kids can get punished. And like we said, that there are some sins that a person can get his punishment in this world. Some sins that a person will not get any punishment in this world, but will be in the next world. And it's only HaKadosh Baruch Hu that knows how to differentiate between what a person deserves, right? He's the one who's calculating. Like we said the other day, is that one sin can be worth 1,000 mitzvot, and one mitzvah can be worth 1,000 sins. Okay? And like we said, but if a person does teshuvah, it's going to be a shield to protect him. Now, halakha gimel. And it's possible that a person will do one big sin, or many sins, until he will have to give judgment in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he will have to pay for it. Until Hashem will go and collect from him because of his sins. For the ones that he did willfully and with his conscience, so now a person can reach such a low point that he caused such a horrible sin or many sins that and he did it willfully and consciously, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help back from him to do tshuva and will not have a chance to repent from his rishut. So the Rambam writes like this, so that the person will be wiped out, and he will not have a chance to have olam haba, to have anything like that. And this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu said by the mouth of Yeshayahu. Ashmen lev ha'am hazeh. So it says, Ashmen lev ha'am hazeh. So this is in reference of. This is in reference that the person should go and they should do teshuvah. But if they don't, then they will get the punishment. וכן הוא אומר, ויהיו מלהיבים במלאכי האלוהים ובוזים דבריו ומתעניינים בנבואיו עד עלות חמת השם ועמו עד לאין מרפא. Right? And because it's written that once they reach the point of no limit, then they had no chance of ever doing teshuvah. Right? So now in this verse in Divrei Yamim, it's written, but they mocked the messengers of Hashem and disdained his words and taunted his prophets until the anger of Hashem against these people grew beyond remedy. Right? Like it said, so there was no more, you can't heal it anymore. That's why a person has to understand in his life he has a set amount of opportunities to go and do teshuvah. So Hashem is going to send him a shiur, he's going to send him a rab, he's going to send him a friend, he's going to send him. Now, after a certain point, the person chose to continue his life and live a wicked life. Then he won't have a chance to go and fix. Right? Sometimes, like Shlomo Melech said, me'uvat lo yuchal litkon. When something is crooked, sometimes you cannot make it back straight. Right? So let's continue. כלומר, חטאו רצונם והרבו לפשועה עד שהתחייבו למנוע מהן התשובה שהיא המרפא. So it says they sinned with their own will, and they did a lot of sins עד שהתחייבו until it was taken away the possibility of doing teshuvah. So even doing teshuvah, that's why in Yom Kippur we have to dance, because even doing teshuvah is already a gift from Hashem. Shia machpeh, because the teshuvah is the remedy. Now if you have no chance, if you went too far, then there's no more remedy. לפיכך כתוב בתורה, יוסף, ואני אחזק את לב פרעה, right? Like it's written in the parasha in Shemot. It's written, I'm going to find you the verse. ואני אקשה את לב פרעה, והביאתי את אותותיי ואת מופתיי בארץ מצרים. So what do we see there? We see that Hakadosh Baruch Hu hardened the heart of Paro. Because at the beginning he sinned by himself, and he did evil things to the Jews that lived by him. Right? Because it's written in the verse that. So it says exactly. Let's be smart with them because they're gonna grow and everything. So then Paro started to go and kill us, and then it continues in the verse. And therefore, it's possible that the Teshuva was taken away from him until he got his punishment. That's why Hashem hardened his heart. So why did Hashem now send Moshe the whole time? Right? Please do tshuva. But now we know Hashem hardened Paro's heart. So what was the point? Right? So it's a big question. Shneimar, v'ata v'avadecha yadati ki terem tireun mipnei Adonai Elohim. So, because it's also written about when Moshe went to see Paro, he told them, right? So he wanted, so he thought like maybe from this you're going to go and do teshuvah.
When Hashem decides, and the door is closed, even if more opportunities, seemingly opportunities, but
because we learned also earlier that each time that someone does something bad, it's like he adds obstacles to like go back to the good side. So although like now he's like, okay, now I'm gonna go to Shiur Torah, he gives the best example that the guy's like, okay, now I'm gonna go to Shalom, do better, and then he'll get a flat tire, then he can't go. Then he'll be like, okay, tomorrow he goes, he gets pulled up, then there's a police that the shop can go. Then so it's like he wants, but even though he wants obstacles, and then he gets to the point where obstacles, it's more than an obstacle. Now it's even you yourself, you're lost.
Right. So Chazak, very good. So just to go back to the two verses, so because I want to look a little bit more exactly what they were doing in reference of. So it says that now I understand that there's that you and your servants, you don't fear Hashem, meaning that you will not do teshuvah. Right. And then the other verse, it says, and that's why it says that Hashem knew that, and Hashem and Moshe knew that he was not going to listen to Paro. But he said, I put you there so that everyone will see the miracles that I'm doing. But really, he's not going to do teshuvah. So we see already that's taken away from him. Moshe is just going there to show the 10 plagues and that and to show that we'll do teshuvah. And also we have to know that it was the first 5 plagues. The first 5 plagues, Paro had the ability to do teshuvah. He didn't do teshuvah. Then the last 5 plagues, then Hashem hardened his heart, so that he shows all the miracles. So this was all to teach the people of the world. The Hakadosh Baruch Hu can withhold the teshuvah from the sinner, and once he does that, a person cannot do teshuvah. But the person will die in his wickedness. That he started to do with his own free will. And even Sichon, right? Because of the sins that he did, then it was prevented from doing teshuvah. Like it's written, right? The same thing that Hakadosh Baruch Hu hardened his heart, right? Because the thing is that once you don't have once the remedy of teshuvah, the gift of teshuvah is taken away from the person, then there's meaning that Hashem hardens the person's heart, because the only way they can get better is if he does teshuvah. But now teshuvah is already locked, so there's nothing else to do. So since he does not have the merit to do teshuvah, so Hashem hardens his heart because he cannot access teshuvah anymore. So that's why it's written, even for the Knaanim, even the Knaanim, because of all their desires, right, the lust that they had, then Hashem removed from them teshuvah until they did milchama with the Jewish people. Right, because it's written in Yehoshua that it was from Hashem, that Hashem went and he hardened their hearts so they should come against Israel in battle in order to utterly destroy them. That Hashem wanted to destroy Knaanim because of their sins, so he wanted to harden their hearts not to do teshuvah. and go to war. It's also very interesting because when we got the land of Eretz Israel, it says, why did we have to go and wait a long time in Egypt? Was because it's only then, like Hashem said to Abraham, only then the sins of the nations of Eretz Israel will be high enough, right? For the 7 nations will be high enough for me to wipe them out. Understand? So it's crazy. So meaning that it's not only that Hashem wanted to give us the land, right? They cannot just give us the land and just kick out who's there. So it was because of their sins was very high at this point, and now God wanted to give us a gift. So then he went and he gave us, and that's why it's written. It's not because that you're so good that I'm giving you the land. It's because they are wicked, so they don't have any right to the land. It's very important. That's why even us today, Baruch Hashem, we keep Torah Mitzvot, then we have the right to the land. But it all goes based according to our spiritual level. That's why it says that the rain will come or will not come. It says that the land will vomit its inhabitants, right? Why? Because it goes according to our spiritual level. Then it continues, and also we see the same thing with Eliyahu Navi, that the people that were doing the right, because they wanted to do Avodah Zarah. Right, there was Eliyahu was on one side, said who's going to be with me, and then there was another side with Avodah Zarah. It says that the people there, HaKadosh Baruch Hu withheld from them to do Teshuva. So what do you see after all this? Now all the proofs of Rambam writes. What does he bring to us in summary? So now we find out that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not force Paro to be evil with us, and not to make sins in his land, and not to the Knanim to be lustful and go after all their desires, not for the Jewish people to do Avodah Zarah, right? Like in the time of Eliyahu Navi, right? Everyone sinned by themselves, and everyone got to a level where the power of Teshuvah, where Teshuvah was held back from them. This is what we said the other day in chapter 4. We said that there's 24 things. So if a person has to look at those 24 things, where does he fall?
Creates obstacles.
So it's 24 things that prevent a person from doing Teshuvah. Now, of course, a person can always do Teshuvah, but like we said, it's going to be much, much harder. It's like Acher, right? There was Acher, it says that in the Pardes there were 4 people who went in. Right, there was Rabbi Akiva, there was Ben Azai, there was Ben Zoma, there was Acher. So Akiva went in and out. In the Pardes, it was like all the not mystical, but all the very spiritual level where you can see the angels, and it's like you're in a very high place. And Rabbi Akiva went in and out, and he was good. But then there was Elisha. He went in, and then when he came out, he became Acher because he became a heretic. He saw something there that shocked him. And he became a heretic. He became a heretic when he came out of the Pardes. So now it says, and then one of them died, and then one of them became a shotim. So then it says about him, it says the whole world can do teshuvah, except there was a bad call. So there was a voice from Shamayim that said the whole world can do teshuvah except for Acher. So he heard this, so he said he didn't do teshuvah. But like we said, lo b'shamim hi, we don't listen to bad call. The Torah is not in Shamayim, it's here. And therefore the Torah also tells you it's true, but a person always has a chance somewhere. So, but it just, even if he goes against the limits, then it's going to be almost impossible. But there's always a little glimpse somewhere that he can still do teshuvah. So let's continue. And then it's going to be interesting to go see what are the gdarim for this, because from now it seems from the Rambam that once a person did something so bad, say for example someone goes with a married woman, right? This is an example. Okay, you did teshuvah. You ask forgiveness to the man. You ask forgiveness to the woman. The people are divorced. The kids are all over the place. She went to marry someone. She did. The kids. No one wants to marry the kids. There's no more money in the house because the father left. So there's a million other consequences that comes from this, and there's trauma from all the kids and the wife and this. So all the problems that come from it. So if everything does teshuvah, okay, I'm sorry. So it helps, but till working it helps. So we see that sometimes some sins are so big. It's like Cain when he killed Hevet. Says my sin is too high to bear. I can't. How can I continue living like that? Right. So sometimes there's some sins that have a lot of weight. הלכה ד' ובעניין זה, שואלים הצדיקים, and on this עניין the tzadikim they're asking and they're saying והנביאים and the בתפילתם בית השם when they pray to Hashem לעוזרם על האמת to help them in the truth כמו שאמר דוד, like David said, אורני השם דרכך. He says, Hashem, show me your ways. כלומר, אל ימנעוני חטאי דרך האמת, שממנה עדה דרכך וייחוד שמך. Right? He said, do not let my sins prevent me from reaching the path of truth, which will lead me to appreciate your way and the oneness of your name. וכן זה שאמר, and like it's written, ורוח נדיבה תשמחני, right? And it says, so, ורוח נדיבה תשמחני, כלומר, what does it mean? תניח רוחי לעשות חפצך. So let my spirit do your will. אל ירגמו לי חטאי למנעני מתשובה. Do not cause me כלומר, תניח רוחי לעשות חפצך ואל ירגמו לי חטאי למנעני. And that do not cause that my sins will prevent me from doing תשובה. למנעני מתשובה. אלא תהיה הרשות בידי עד שיחזור ואבין וידע דרך האמת. So it should always be my will. So imagine, this is the brachot, David HaMelech is saying the Tehillim, says, please Hashem, make it that my sins, I'm never too bad that I can't do teshuvah. So even whatever sin I do, make it that I still have a chance, that I will always have my free will, that I can go back in the right way, so I will understand, and I will know the way of truth. And this is the same way that you have to understand all the psukim that go and that are the same as this, right? That are similar to these ones.
So I have a question, because we said in Perek Hey that Hashem is not the one that makes us choose, that but choose good, but now we're seeing that he could harden the heart and make it that someone can't choose. Like with Paro, let's say.
Right.
So it's contradictory. You know what I mean?
No, because we said that a person, but because what we said is that the person can do teshuvah, right? And the person doesn't pick to do evil or good. But once he's at a level that he can't do teshuvah, meaning that he wants to do bad, but now let's say he wants to do good, but now the door of teshuvah is being locked to him. So meaning that a person can reach to a point where he became so bad that he just continues in the bad. That even if he wants to be better, he can't do anything more. Because this is also one of the reasons that make it that a person is like, in a way, it's like he loses his free will. It's like Paro, even when he wanted to do good, now he couldn't do because he went too deep.
So like,
right.
That's my question.
I think that the Rambam says also that really you don't have to look at actually now. You have to see that first all the bad behavior it was willingly. Now after 20, 30, 50, 100 times, now it got locked. But it still got it was his will to do it 100 times.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying once it's locked, then the will is stopped. Meaning that even if, let's say, he wakes up, he wants to do better, now even with all his will, he can't, because Hashem is like preventing him.
Have this will, like it's complete, yeah.
So it's cutting like
and this is
the
why,
free will
this
of
is
it.
why here the Rambam brings looking from Teshuva Rambam to see that he was afraid of this possibility.
Yeah, no,
even
for
at his
sure.
level.
But because yesterday we learned in the last chapter that Hashem will never, it's always free will. You always have free will. Whatever good you want to do and whatever bad you want to do, it's your choice. But if at one point your heart is locked and now you're like forced to stay in the bad, then that's like cutting the free will.
No, right, but the person is that he's the one who started, meaning that, look, let's say the guy had to die now because of all the sins that he did. He didn't do teshuvah. So he went to a point of, let's say, no return. So therefore, the gift of teshuvah, why should Hashem accept teshuvah in the first place? Understand? So you have to understand that it's a gift, right? It's not only a person can choose to do good or bad, but let's say to accept the person doing teshuvah, meaning that even let's say the guy chooses to do good, it doesn't mean like it still didn't. He can't do teshuvah, or even the good that he tries to make. It's a good question, like till where does it go? But I think just simply is that since the person went and he chose by himself from his own free will, then he went and he changed he changed what he could have been. But then he's already like, you cannot just go say, oh, I'm doing teshuvah, and like 99 years of being like the biggest rasha and doing those things that we said. So in general, you can, even the last day, right? But we said a person who falls into this category of doing those 24 things, or just such a huge bad sin, or a lot of bad sins, Hashem goes and prevents him from doing teshuvah. So I don't know if it's really that Hashem takes away his free will, or it's just that the person cannot exactly. It will be much harder.
But it's still possible in the end to do like
I would say that there's all we saw many examples, but it seems now from the Rambam is that
like,
no, because it's like it's possible, but then it's possible until you get to that point. Then it makes it maybe his nature makes it that it's like if a person goes, he's so used to doing something that in his nature makes it that let's say he's used to never give it a penny. So for 40 years, his father will never give a penny to nobody, never tell him to go work. So now, even let's say if he wants, even if he does whatever he can, he will not give a penny because it's. Il est tellement habitué dans sa nature que it makes him who he is now. And at the same time, he has no help to do Teshuva. So really, it could be also that he still has the free will, but Hashem already makes it that whatever help he was going to do it for him, maybe that he will not give it to him, right? But let's go back in the simple pshat of the Rambam. Is that a person, if he does, if he gets to a certain level, then his free will to do Teshuva gets taken away from him. Halacha,
I don't know what level, but clearly the Rambam is saying that you can get to that level where there's no longer free will.
No, that I understood. That I understood. It's just that.
How do you get there?
It's just that from
how
going.
How is it possible that this is?
How is it possible after the fact that the Rambam explained that you always have free will? You know what I mean?
No, but he didn't say you always have
Not
free
true
will.
always, but all your good actions and like all your bad actions, they come from your own dad.
Right, it does. But now,
if at one
but now
point
we're
your
telling,
heart is hardened.
but now we're saying that you're already in the point of no return. So there's no tshuva for you. Hashem wants to wipe out this person. This guy should die right now. He has nothing. Now for whatever reason, Hashem keeps him alive. For example, Paro, why did Hashem keep him alive? He kept him alive so he can see all the miracles and how his things get destroyed, and the whole world will see the great Paro. Look what's happening to him. But in reality, after the fifth plague, he already has no right to live. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu tells you this, what Hashem. Yeah. Don't worry. As soon as he turns it off, okay, he's attacking again. So, and also the thing is that for also all those sins, the person is already liable for death penalty right away. And so now if Hashem now gives a chance, he gives time, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a chance. Like we said, the proof with Paro, it wasn't a chance, it was to prove the things to Am Yisrael. So we see that it's not always a chance for a person to do Teshuvah. Okay? And now here, David tov v'yashar Adonai. And what did David say? God is good and upright. Therefore, he instructs the sinners in the path, right? So he brings the sinners in the right way. Right? So he guides the humble. So what does this mean? Right? That Hashem went and did all those things. Right? So it says that so HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent us prophets to go and teach us the right way, and the Derech Hashem, and that they bring us to do Teshuvah. And also He gave us the ability to learn and to understand. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made in the man that any man at any time that he wants to go and follow the derech of the chokhmah, he wants to follow wisdom and justice, that he desires them and he runs after them. And this is what our holy sages said, our sages said, of blessed memory. A person who wants to get clean, we help him. So he will see, since he wants to do teshuvah, he will get the help. So it's interesting. Maybe the answer also, another thing you can say is that now if a person, Hashem says, I'm not helping this guy. So even if he wants, what can he do? Nothing works because he has zero siyata dishmaya. Now if a person wants to do teshuvah, okay, he lives in Kot Zenuk, so that's great. Let's say he lived in Shibugamo. He doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a license, and he doesn't know how to use the metro. So he's stuck there. That's it. He's done. And so it's also all the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to set him up to be able to teshuvah. Nezar hadavar. V'lo katuv b'Torah va'avadum v'inu otam. Right, and it's written in the Torah in the verse, they shall enslave them and oppress them. Right, when Hashem was speaking with Abraham, Ari gazar al Mitzrayim la'asod ra. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gazar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu already decreed on the Mitzrayim to do back to us. And it's written that this it says that, and also it's written in another verse in Devarim, right? After the Jewish people will die, after Moshe will die, the Am Yisrael will go and do Avodah Zarah, right? So Ari Gazar Al Yisrael Avodah Zarah. So we see, oh, Hashem decreed on Am Yisrael to do Avodah Zarah. So why would Hashem go and punish the Mitzrim if he already said to Abraham? And why would he go punish the Jews if he already said to Moshe? If he already said to Moshe that Am Yisrael will do Avodah Zarah?
Great question.
So Rambam Baruch Hashem, he brings the question, he brings the answer. לפי שלא גזר עד איש פלוני הידוע שיהיו הזונה, אלא כל אחד ואחד מאותן הזונים לעבוד עבודה זרה, אילו לא רצה לעבוד לא היה עובר. Very important point. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not go and do a gzera on each person individually. He made a gzera on the group. And therefore, anyone in the group himself still had the free will to do, right? So even the Mitzrim, let's say it was on the Mitzrim to go and torture Am Yisrael. But let's say now you have a few Mitzrim that say, no, it's not right that we go and we kill them or we beat them up or we make them suffer. So they don't do it, right?
I think it was decided that it would be the Mitzrim. It was not decided what it would be at all. Not even a group. It was not decided. It was decided for the
no, because
of Abraham would go in slavery, but not where.
No, but at the end that we know it was a mistake. But that they will make them slaves and they will torture them. So now, okay, so if maybe Abraham didn't know, but now that it was in Mitzrayim, so then it seems that Hashem went and said that there's going to be a gzera, that they will suffer from them. So now we're saying that what Hashem is saying that what it means is that it's the group. Then there can be a gzera on a group, right, on a group of people, but it doesn't mean that the person inside individually are being forced in one way or another. So it means that you can still have your free will, right? So what does it mean, the Rambam? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu only informed them the way of the world, right? Moshe is gone. Now we're going to land. We're fattening our calves. We're having every business is booming. So when business is booming, what happens? What happens? That's it. They forgot about Hashem, and now Avodah Zarah. But this is not like this is the way of the world, right? Like the Mitzrim, they go, they're slaves there, so they go and they torture them. But it's not that it was gezar on them. So what does it look like? Oh, beautiful Rambam. It says like, in this nation, in I don't know the Hispanic nation, the Hispanic people, you have good people and you have bad people, right? לא בימין זה יאמר רשע כבר נגזר עליו שיהיה רשע מפני שהודיע למשה שיהיו רשעים בישראל, right? So it doesn't mean that the fact so now the Rasha cannot go and say, oh, it was already gzar on me, right? Because you said there's going to be some tzaddikim, some rashim, so it was already on me that I will be a Rasha. עליו שיהיה רשע מפני שהודיע למשה שיהיו רשעים בישראל. So it doesn't change anything that Hashem told Moshe there will be Reshaim in Israel. Understand? It doesn't change. There will be the Jews that are going to be wicked, because we know there's always going to be good people and there's going to be wicked people. But it doesn't mean that it's forcing on someone. Let's say there's good Hispanic and bad Hispanic. Now you see Jose outside, right? He's going to tell you. So it doesn't mean he's going to be bad. He can choose to be good or bad. So this is what he's saying, the Rambam. Like it's written in Yerushalayim, in Devarim, the poor will never cease to exist in the land. What does this mean? Right? So then it could be also, no, but just in general, we know in every country, since the beginning of time, there were always poor people, always rich people, always poor people. So when we say the poor people will never cease, it doesn't mean that Hashem is doing a gzera on each person to be poor, right? Mm-hmm. And therefore, so also the Mitzrim, all of them that were Mitzirim, that were making us suffer, that were evil towards us, Israel, if he did not want to make us be evil towards us, he had the free will. Because it did not do a gzera on one individual person, but it was only that there will be that his future to Abraham, that his future kids will go and be servants in a land that does not belong to them. And we already explained that it's beyond the potential of man to know how God knows what will be in the future. So, because we already explained that it's beyond the scope. So if it's beyond the scope, we'll leave it at that.